Alright, so when we talk about multiplying, all that multiplying polynomials really is just another version of the distributive method. Let's say I have something like 3x, and I have something on the outside, which is 3x, which is called the GCF. And let's say I have something inside the parentheses, like x minus 3. What I want to do is, I want to take whatever's on the outside, and remember we call this the GCF, and all we do is we distribute it to everything on the inside. So let's go ahead and try that. The first thing I do is I multiply the 3x by the x right here. And just as a reminder, when we do the distributive method, we work on the left side of the parentheses and we move to the right. So 3x times x, that's going to give us 3x squared, because there's a 3 and there are two x's. And now let's take that 3x and let's multiply it by the negative 3. If we do that, we get negative 9x, which gives us the answer. Once again, we have one term on the outside, and we're multiplying it by everything on the inside of this parentheses. Now, let me go ahead and delete this for a second, and I want to show you what another method of multiplying is going to look like. Let's say I have something like x plus 1 and you'll notice that this is called a binomial because there are two terms inside this parentheses. Now let me go ahead and multiply it by something else which is called a trinomial. Now you can probably guess from the name that trinomial has three terms. And I'm going to go ahead and write this on the inside of here. Let's go ahead and try an x squared plus 2x plus 3. What I want to do is, when I multiply polynomials like this, I want to choose the shortest polynomial there is, which is going to be this one obviously because it has two terms. I want to choose the shortest polynomial and make it my anchor. So when I think of multiplying, I think of what's called the anchor method. Basically, the way this works is the shortest polynomial is going to be called the anchor. And we're going to underline each term going from left to right, one by one. So let me go ahead and underline this. And I'm going to take this x and I'm going to multiply it by every single term over here in this polynomial. This one, and this one. So let's see what we get when we do that. If I multiply every single term in here by x, I'm going to get, first of all, x cubed, because x times x squared is going to give me x cubed. I have one x right here, two x's right here. So if I multiply them together, I get three x's. Then I'm going to move on to multiply it by this 2x over here. And I get plus 2x squared. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this x and multiply it by this 3 right here to get plus 3x. So now that I've multiplied everything in this polynomial by this x, what I can do now is I can get rid of these arrows by erasing them. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to move on to the next term, this plus 1 over here. So let me go ahead and get rid of all this, and let's try multiplying everything over here by the right side, multiplying everything by this 1 over here. So let me go ahead and change back to my pen real quick, and we'll see what that looks like. So I underline this, and I draw my arrows again. Once again, starting with the anchor polynomial and multiplying each term by every single term in this polynomial. Now, since I'm multiplying everything by this 1 right here, nothing changes over here. So remember, when we multiply by 1, nothing changes. We get back exactly what we put in. So 1 times x squared is just going to be x squared. And you'll notice what I'm doing right here is I'm matching up the exponents by putting the terms with the same exponents below each other. Now let's do 1 times 2x. I get 2x. And then for the last term, we have 1 times 3, which is just 3. All right, now we're ready to add everything up. And some people ask me if we have to add at the end of every problem like this. And the answer is yes. You will always be adding, you will never be subtracting or anything like that. So let's go ahead and add them up. This x cubed doesn't combine with anything, so I bring down the x cubed. When I add these up, I get 3x squared, because 2 plus 1 is 3. Over here I get a 5x, and over here I have a plus 3. So that's how I multiply something by the anchor method. It's really easy once you do a couple problems and you get used to it. And thank you so much for watching.